All right, here we go. I'm just going to walk through that question again so I can catch it in the video. Hydrogen, carbon, oxygen, and nitrogen are all elements. All right, organic compounds. Sketch an amino acid. See if you can quickly sketch an amino acid. You would have an example of an amino acid on your organic molecule lab. You will not have to sketch an amino acid on the test. You will have to recognize what an amino acid looks like on the test. A hand up if you're ready. All right. Let's see. Put your hand up if you know what element will you see in an amino acid that you will not see in a carbohydrate, in a fatty acid, in a glycerol, or in a, what's the other one I'm missing? Actually, no, you will see it in a nucleic acid, so I can't say that. There's an element, a letter, that you will not see in any of those others. And that's the easiest way for you to recognize an amino acid. Right, here we go. Okay. You will see this. Okay. In carbohydrates, you'll see this. In fatty acids, you'll see carbons. You'll see side chains, but you will not see a nitrogen. The amino group is what tells you that it is an amino acid. And amine means nitrogen. All right, here we go. Solutions with a pH below 7 are called blanks. Those with a pH of 7 are called blanks. And a pH more than 7 are called blanks. Hand up if you know what this answer is. All right. This is an easy one. Below 7, above 7. Remember, there are two different terms that we can use for solutions that are above 7. All right, here we go. Below 7, acidic. Equal to 7, neutral. Above 7, basic or alkaline. All right, acids, bases, and random questions. There's a lot of random in here, by the way. Of the following pH values, which one is the most basic or alkaline? And I apologize. Some of you guys have chatted back to me. I can't look at the chat because they were private chats, and I'm recording a video, so it'll actually show the content of the chat in the video, and we don't want that. All right, hand up if you know what this answer is. So which one would you most likely get a severe burn from? That are basic or alkaline? I like it. I can see some of you guys are already ready for this test. You're probably feeling pretty good about yourselves right now. All right, here we go. You know what? I'm going to flip this to the top. All right. All right, here we go. Uh-oh, my bad. Sorry. This is what I should have done. Okay, 10.6. This is alkaline. This is alkaline. And this is alkaline. But the closer you get to 14, the more alkaline you are. So 10.6. Good. What are the enzymes that speed up the rates of reactions? What would we call catalase other than an enzyme? All right, hand up if you know what the answer is. Seeing a lot of the same people with their hands up and a lot of the same people with their hands not up. All right. Speed up the rates of reactions. For those of you that are basketball fans, this is typically the sixth man, the person you bring in off the bench to speed things up and to get the offense going again. Of course, these special enzymes are called catalysts. Blanks help fight diseases. They control the rates of reactions. They regulate cell processes, and they are used to repair tissue and muscle. Ooh, Billy Ocean in the house. Billy Ocean and Philip Bailey. Oh, no, this is not Billy Ocean. This is Philip Bailey and Phil Collins. My bad. Let's see. All right, hand up if you know what it is. Remember, controlling the rates of reactions. That's what we just talked about. Catalysts and enzymes. What type of organic molecule is a catalyst and an enzyme? All right, here we go. Proteins, you got it. All right, here we go. When you know the answer to both of these questions, raise your hand. Which subatomic particles are found in the nucleus? Which subatomic particles are found in energy cells? Energy shells surround. I'm having a hard time with my S's. Energy shells surrounding the nucleus. All right, again, hand up if you know the answer to both of these questions. There's only 3 subatomic particles. So which 2 or 3 of these? All right, about 10 seconds. All right, here we go. Okay, in the nucleus, protons and neutrons are found. That's one of the things that they have in common. They also have about the same mass. technically, I don't really consider this a commonality or a similarity, but they're both not negative. All right, electrons, they are way different than protons and neutrons. Electrons are found in energy shells, so the location is different. They have very, very little mass. That's a difference between both protons and neutrons. And they have a negative charge, whereas protons have a positive charge and neutrons have a neutral charge or no charge. All right, here we go. In water, oxygen is more electronegative than hydrogen, so the blanks spend more time near the oxygen atom. Because water has unequal charges, it is referred to as a blank compound. Hand up when you know what both of the answers are. All right, in water, oxygen is more electronegative than hydrogen, so which subatomic particles spend time near the oxygen? And what do we call that when there is a partially negative and a partially positive charge on different ends of that compound? 15 seconds. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Okay, the electrons are attracted by electronegative atoms. Oxygen has more protons, therefore, electrons are more attracted to the oxygen than the hydrogens. And any molecule or compound that has partially negative and partially positive charges is called a polar molecule or a polar compound. Solutions that contain hydrogen ion concentrations higher than pH 7 are blank. A compound that produces hydroxide ions in solution are called what? You know, it's going to be great. On Tuesday, some of you guys that have all of these resources at your disposal are barely going to have to look at them because you've already got the information in your head. The process of doing homework helps you learn the content. Just having the notes and having the study guide as a backup is exactly what I'm saying. It's going to be a backup just in case you forget something. All right, when you know the answer to both questions, please put your hand up. All right, about 10 seconds. All right, here we go. Okay, so if you have a higher hydrogen ion concentration than 7, that means you have more hydrogen ions, and that means it is acidic. Compound that produces hydroxide, that's the opposite. That's base or alkaline. Blanks are called substrates when talking about an enzyme catalyzed reaction. True or false? All enzymes are catalysts. My wife loves Prince. Her absolute favorite. He's great, but he's not my absolute favorite. So what's another word for a substrate when we're talking about an enzyme catalyzed reaction? True or false? All enzymes are catalysts. Hand up when you know the answer to both questions. All right, about 10 seconds. And by the way, I don't know how much money your parents make or anything like that, but if they can afford Apple Music, oh, it is so worth it. Oh my gosh, I've got 800 songs from the 80s in my playlist. I've got a 500 song playlist from the 70s. I'm working on a big playlist from the 60s, all free. Well, I mean, $15 a month for Apple Music, but man, it's worth it. All right, here we go. All right, reactants are called substrates when talking about an enzyme catalyzed reaction. All enzymes are catalysts. Right out of the class notes, okay? It's going to be on the test. Okay, sketch the structure of DNA's double helix. You do not need to include the elements. Just what does the shape look like? If you don't know what a double helix looks like, Google it on your phone real quick. The blanks contain fats, waxes, and steroids. They have monomers of fatty acids and glycerol, and they are used for long-term energy storage. Hand up when you know the answer to both of these questions. All right, about 20 seconds. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. All right, a double helix is a twisted ladder. Okay, it looks like a ladder that you twist. Lipids are the fats, waxes, and steroids. They have monomers of fatty acids. Remember, 3 fatty acids per glycerol, and they are used for long-term energy storage. Trust me, I got a lot of long-term energy storage stored up on my gut. All right, here we go. Next one. Which of the following elements is not considered an element of life? Which elements did we not talk about in the organic molecule lab? Which elements did we not cover in the 2-3 class notes? If the atomic number of carbon is 6, how many neutrons does carbon 13 have? Let's see. Oh, this is a cool song. Hand up if you know the answer to both questions. And Mr. Collins, if you're in the audience, could you please send me an email sometime today so we can make sure that we're on the same page for next Tuesday? Thank you. Hand up if you know the answer to both questions.
don't know what the city is kept. The creme de la creme of the chess world in a show with everything but Yul Brynner. Time flies, doesn't seem a minute.
All right, about 20 seconds.
All change. Don't you know that when you play at this level, there's no ordinary venue? It's Iceland, or the Philippines, or Hastings, or this place. One night in Bangkok, the world's your oyster. The laws are temples, but the pulse ain't free.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. Okay, aluminum, calcium, and magnesium are not considered elements of life. Now, don't get me wrong. These are found in our body, but they are not primary elements that are necessary for making organic compounds or molecules. And of course, the atomic mass, or the mass number, which is 13, is 13 minus 6 is 7 neutrons. Put your hand up if you know what carbon-13 is called. What is the term that we use to describe elements with more neutrons? Hand up if you know what we call those things. All right. Yeah, those are called isotopes. Isotopes. All right. 4 questions here. Lipids, proteins, carbohydrates, and nucleic acids are all what? What do we call those things? Blank Na is double-stranded, while blank Na is single-stranded. The monomers of proteins are called what? Hand up when you know all 4 answers.
I don't see you guys rating the kind of mate I'm contemplating. I'd let you watch. I would invite you, but the queens we use would not excite you. So you better go back to your bars, your temples.
This is a great song. All right, about 30 seconds, kids. All right, 10 seconds. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. Okay, they're called molecules or compounds, or specifically organic molecules, organic compounds. Okay. DNA is double-stranded. RNA is single-stranded. A couple of you guys got some other differences. DNA is restricted to the nucleus. RNA, messenger RNA, that is. Messenger RNA can be in the nucleus and at the ribosome, okay, where proteins are made. DNA has the sugar deoxyribose. RNA has the sugar ribose. DNA has the nucleotide or nitrogen base thymine. RNA has the nitrogen base or nucleotide of uracil. Okay, and amino acids are the monomers of proteins. When solids are added to a solution, some dissolve and some can still be seen in solution. This mixture would be best described as a blank. That's one of your warm-up questions. Proteins contain hydrogen, carbon, oxygen, and what other element? Which organic compound is mostly found in muscles? Hand up when you know all 3 answers. Again, hand up when you know what all of them are. All right, about 20 seconds. All right, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. So when you can still see solids either floating in the solution or settling on the bottom of solution, that is called suspension. Nitrogen atom is what is also found in proteins. We've already talked about that. And proteins are what make up the majority of the structure of muscles. Chemical reactions always involve changes in blank. This should sound very, very familiar. By the way, A's fans, I'm not a fan of the A's and I'm not a fan of the American League, but I was really pulling for them. I'm so sorry they lost to those cheating Astros. So now I guess I'm pulling for Tampa Bay from the American League, and I hate the Dodgers. So the Braves. I hate the Braves too because I'm a Mets fan and they always beat the Mets. So I guess I'd like to see the Braves and the Rays in the World Series, and then I'll go for the Rays, I guess. All right, here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They involve changes in energy. Okay? Bonds breaking, bonds being made involve energy. All right, here we go. Uh-oh. That didn't work out. Hold on a minute. Oh, no. Oh, no. I fixed this last time, and I don't know why I changed it, but this is what it should look like. Sorry about that. Save it again. All right. Okay, what is using these graphs, what is the approximate temperature that the reaction is fastest? Look at this one. What happens to the enzyme at the right side of the graph? So what's going on over here? This should be very familiar. At what pH is the reaction fastest using this one? A little cool in the gang. Oh, yeah. By the way, these exact diagrams are on your study guide. So if you haven't answered these yet, pull out your study guide and answer them now. Hand up if you know the answer to all 3 questions. All right, 15 seconds. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here's the answer. Okay, the approximate temperature that the reaction is fastest, that's at about, I don't know, between 30 and 40. So somewhere between 35 and 45, which is about here to here. All right. Destroyed. And of course, the fancy word for an enzyme being destroyed is denatured. Okay. And then over on this one, the pH that this enzyme operates best as is basically straight down from where the X is, a pH of 8. Okay, kids, we're not finished yet, but teacher's got to take a potty break. So about a 3-minute potty break for anybody who needs to take a potty break.
Just the same. Heard you call my name. Misled. What's your claim to fame? Misled. Took me by the hand. Misled. Said I would understand. Misled. With a bomb of broken dreams. Misled. Now look where you see. Misled. Baby, that's your name. Misled. What's your claim to fame? My heart, my soul, my love. Is that the thrill? Then I will. Misled. Want to feel real. Baby, baby. What's your claim to fame? Got me out of thing. Heard you call my name. What's your claim to fame? Wanna take me to? Tell me what's the prize if I go with you? My heart, my soul, my love. Is that the thrill? Then I will. Make me stand.
All right, I'm back. Now 30 more seconds to let people get back to their device. All right, here we go. What are the 3 subatomic particles and their charges? What type of ion forms when an electron is added? Hand up when you know the answer to both, well, all 4 of these questions.
The wind blows hard against this mountainside, across the sea into my soul. It reaches into where I cannot hide, setting my feet upon the road. My heart is old and holds my memory.
All right, hand up if you know the answer to all the questions.
My body burns and turns like flame. Somewhere between the soul and soft machine is where I find myself.
All right, kids, here we go. All right, protons are positive. Neutrons are not negative. Neutrons have no charge, or neutrons are neutral, is how you need to remember that. and electrons are negative. And of course, if you add a negative charge, okay, if you add an electron, you now have a negative ion. The opposite is true. If you remove an electron, that means you have a positive charge. Okay? Which organic compound stores genetic information? Glucose and fructose are which type of organic compound? Enzymes are which type of organic compound? And sketch a lipid, just the part where the glycerol bonds to the fatty acids, because if you were going to draw a fatty acid, that'd probably take you about 3-4 minutes. And again, you're not going to have to draw anything on the test. You're just going to have to recognize what it looks like. Hand up when you know the answer to all of these questions. Hand up when you know the answer to these questions. I know there are more than one of you out there that know the answer to this question. All right, 20 seconds. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. Okay, nucleic acids store genetic information. Glucose and fructose are both carbohydrates. Enzymes are proteins. And this is the glycerol. So the bonds and the elements that are in blue are the glycerol. And then these are the endings of the 3 fatty acids. Remember, a hydrogen, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's a hydrogen, breaks off of the fatty acids. And I believe a hydroxide breaks off of the glycerol, opening up those 3 bonding sites, allowing a lipid to be created. Glucose, C6, H12, O6, and H2O. What is the word that we use to describe those things that have more than one type of element and that are bonded together? Hand up if you know the answer. All right, 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. Those are compounds. Okay, compounds is the best word, but compounds and molecules kind of mean the same thing. Technically, a molecule is the same element bonded to itself, okay? But you could call both of these organic molecules or both of these organic compounds. If on the test you see only the choice of molecules, pick it. Use the following reaction to answer the questions 1 and 2. Carbon dioxide plus water goes to C6H12O6 and oxygen. So obviously this is the reaction for photosynthesis. The blanks are on the left. The blanks are on the right. sketch a carbohydrate, and which organic compound contains genetic information. Now, I know you've already seen that one before, which means that you're going to see a form of this question on the test more than once. So you either get it right twice or you get it wrong twice. Let's get it right twice. Hand up if you know the answer to all of these questions. I'm pretty sure this band, New Shoes, I'm pretty sure they're from Vallejo. All right, about 15 seconds. All right, 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Okay, so reactants are on the left side of a reaction arrow. Products are on the right side of the reaction arrow. This is what a carbohydrate looks like. I think this one is glucose, because I'm pretty sure glucose had the double bond on carbon 1. Anyway, that's what a carbohydrate looks like. Usually a chain of carbons with hydroxides and hydrogens bonded to each side. And nucleic acids are the organic compounds that make up or that have genetic information. All right, last one for you guys today. Blanks are the main source of immediate energy for living things. Starches are polymers made of monomers called what? What are the monomers that when they're bonded together to make starch called? The sum of an atom's protons and neutrons, what do we call that term? Hand up when you know the answer to all 3 questions. About 20 seconds. Ten seconds. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Okay, carbohydrates are the main source of immediate energy. Remember, lipids are long-term energy storage. Glucose, when glucose gets bonded together a whole bunch of times, it makes up starch, okay? And the sum of an atom's protons and neutrons is called the atomic mass, which is the same as mass number. And I just noticed I have a little typo there. Let's clean that up. All right. Okay, hand up if you are feeling pretty darn skippy, and that means good, about the test coming up on Tuesday. If you're feeling pretty confident 4 days before this test that you get to use your notes and your study guide on, put your hand up. I'm seeing about half of the class. Put their hand up. All right. Hands down. I got one more question for you. Hands down. Okay. Put your hands up if you like 80s music. I don't know what it is about your guys' generation, but you guys seem to love the 80s. Of course, that's when I was a teenager, born in 1969, graduated in 1988. These were the songs, plus metal. I got into metal when I was about a junior, senior, is what I was listening to. Okay, so remember, later on this afternoon, I will have this video available for you, okay? This is a great way, Sunday night and Monday night, make yourself a bowl of popcorn, get all your resources available, pause the video when you see what the question is, see if you can write down or think of what the answer is. Maybe a whiteboard would be a good thing to own for this type of thing. But this would be a great way to review with your notes and your study guide to get ready for the test on Monday. All right, I'm going to pause this real quick. Okay, let's see. Anybody, if you have questions for me, hold on. Let me stop this video real quick. Get me out of there. Bam, bam. Let me stop the share. Stop sharing.